Assalamu alaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking about Unit 5. We have discussed the first few pages of the lesson Technology and Society of the Future. Since we began this unit, I told you there is a theme in every unit. And the theme of Unit 5 is technology and then gender inequality. So in this unit we will be talking about technology first and then gender inequality. So we are talking about the first part, and the reading selection, I told you there are 3 lessons in every unit. So we will have 5.1. Right now we are going to have 5.1, Technology and Study of the Future. We are going to have 5.2 with another name, that is going to be a lesson again, and then 5.3, a poem. And that point we will discuss also the same idea of technology and gender inequality. Here we have discussed till page 100, and I think we are on page 171. We have stopped at the very first paragraph of page 171, and till then, if you remember, we have talked about the different achievements that man is capable of achieving throughout the history and time in different fields of life. The technological advancement, the power of technology, and the scientific discoveries that has been made possible throughout the history, they were discussed. In the start of the lesson, we have discussed that 21st century is basically the century of sophisticated science. Previously, man was mostly at the hands, or we can say at the mercy of its environment, and whatever the environment used to provide, we were supposed to, or we were bound to take it as it was. We could not exactly exploit the minerals or the different beneficial things that the earth or the environment used to provide us. We were not capable of transforming them or taking full advantage out of them, but now we are, with the help of modern science and technology. And the writer mentioned that this is not possible for us. So that I will say, for example, that science and technology is playing a vital role in 10 fields of human life. This is not possible. We cannot exactly enumerate them. They are countless, they are numberless, and there are so many. But we will be talking about the very important discoveries of science and technology in different fields, in which first of all we have talked about health. How did it affect the health? How previously people used to die because of famine, because of diseases, pandemics, and they have given the example of the plague, which was back then in 542 AD, then the Black Death in the 14th century, and then the pandemic of 1918, and then again the pandemic of 1957, which killed almost 8,000 people in the USA only. So these were different examples, and then they talked about the discovery of penicillin. Penicillin basically is discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1927, which is one of the most important discoveries of science and technology in the field of health. And then we have talked about the engineering and mechanical technologies, that we are having now, fast means of communication. We can travel from one place to another in a very short time. Then we talked about the communication technology, that previously we used to deliver letters and that used to take months. Now we can send a message in seconds to people who are living, even not in your country, across the border. We can send international messages, or even WhatsApp messages, or emails, or fax, telegraph, etc. These are the examples. Now on page 171 we are going to talk about the advancement of science and technology in the field of agriculture. So let's see, please open your books on page 171. I'm going to read the text. Modern technology is playing a central role in the field of agriculture. Modern technology, there is no doubt, it is playing a very huge role in agriculture. It has greatly helped man in developing agriculture, livestock and food industry. Now man is more capable of to keep more and large number of livestock, the animals that we used to keep at our homes, for example the goats and cows and buffaloes, etc. And of course the food industry. Now man is more capable to produce more food than their need, right? It has helped man to bring barren and arid land under the plow. Due to science and technology, man is capable of reaching to those lands which were previously barren and there was no water. Now they have channelized the water, and through different projects, for example the solar tubewell projects, you can have you can bring a lot of land under the plow, the barren land, but now with the help of solar tubewells or channels or different ways, for example building dams, etc. These are basically the wonders of science and technology in the field of agriculture. It has helped man to construct dams for irrigation and generation of electricity. Due to science and technology, we are capable to construct dam, and we can use it for two purposes: for generation of electricity, of course, and also irrigation. It has enabled the agriculturalists to increase their yield per acre. And for example, I have a field of, for example, I have a field of one canal, right? And I used to grow wheat on that, and they used to give me, for example, 50 or 60 or 100 kgs of wheat from that one canal field. But with the help of fertilizers and different scientific ways to deploy on that field, now I used to get 3 or 4 or 500 kgs per canal from the same land. That is what we call, that science and technology has helped man to increase its per capita, or we can say that it has increased the per acre yield, right? It has helped the farmer to grow bumper crops by using chemical fertilizers. Again, I mentioned that now we are capable of producing crops or food in a huge amount with the help of science and technology. A few out of these vast varieties of contributions are good quality seeds. We are having very good and better quality of seeds now, better varieties of crops, of course. Pesticides are basically those chemicals which kills different insects, etc. That used to eat our crops, so we have pesticides for that. More milk producing and processing and the preservation of food. We have more milk now. We have farms that where we can have more cows or buffaloes, and we can due to scientific advancement, we can milk 100 cows at the same time through different machines and technologies. The farmers, with the help of modern technology, are now able to produce vegetables and fruit out of season. This is one of the most astonishing things, that you can have a fruit or vegetable of the summers in winters, right? The same goes for, you can have the vegetables or even fruits of winter in summer season. Technology and science have altogether changed the standard of living. That is very much true, that it has changed the standard of living. Science and technology, it has advanced everything, and specifically the agriculture. Man's standard of living has been uplifted to great extent. He is enjoying the comfort and luxuries of life. That is very true. These benefits and comforts include comfortable air-conditioned houses, hot and cold water, gas, electricity, speedy cars, televisions, refrigerators, and many others. With the blessings of science and technology, we can have all these things. For example, summer is just coming up now. We will, use air conditions to maintain the temperature according to our wish. And then again, when we have winters, we used to switch on our heaters. Same goes for hot and cold water. In winter, we used to have, hot water, and in summers, we try to manage the temperature of our water that can be, that we can, use it easily. Of course, gas, you don't have to go to the hills and bring the timber and then use it for fire. Now we have gas, electricity, which is one of the most I would say which is one of the huge inventions and one of the most important aspects of human life these days. Speedy cars and televisions, refrigerators, and so many other things. Man has changed his environment. Due to all that, man has changed his environment. He is capable of changing his environment. The world has now become a happy abode for living. The world is becoming more and more a happy place to live in. That is the perspective of the writer. I'm going to read the next paragraph on page 172. Man has been harnessing the forces of nature continuously. Man is trying to utilize the forces of nature for a long time, since its birth, right? New inventions are made and new facts are being discovered. Throughout the history, we have been discovered different things. For example, previously in the 10th or 11th or even till 14th century, people believed that the earth is flat. But then Copernicus came and he gave the model that no, this is not, because the shape of the circle is, the earth is not flat. It is basically spherical or round in shape. The earth is not flat. So with the passage of time, people used to come and they used to discover new facts and ideas about the universe. Scientists are busy in making research in the fields of medicine. Even today, scientists are busy to make more progress in the field of medicines, technology, and space technology. The focus is on every field, but these days they are making groundbreaking achievements in space technology, in astronomy, and as I mentioned in the previous lecture, that NASA has sent a robot, a device which they used to call Perseverance, to the Mars, and it landed safely. And now it is sending a very important data regarding the life or the previous, we can say the proof of life, if there was a life on Mars. So they are sending back to the Earth a very important data. They are trying to create an environment free of pollution. At the same time, scientists are working that how can we save our Earth from pollution, because we are polluting it, and the temperature, the global temperature, it is rising, and they are trying to control it. Their focus is on the solar energy, which is safe. Now the scientists are working to utilize as much as solar energy as they could and they can. Powerful and inexhaustible. Solar energy is powerful and it is inexhaustible, unless the sun went out of its power and light, that would be the end of it. Otherwise it is inexhaustible. It is not going to end very soon. Besides, they are thinking to use atom for peace. Atom bomb, which we use for destruction, it can also be used for the generation of electricity. They are trying to do that also. If this goal is achieved, there will be no load shedding or energy crisis. And if they have successfully deployed atom for energy purposes, there will be no electricity or shortage of energy. The farmer will be able to run their tube wells round the clock and produce crops and vegetables in abundance. Of course, when you have no shortage of electricity, you can run your tube wells, you can run your so many other things, your factories, your companies, 24/7, and definitely you will have more production, you will have more crops, you will have more food. Industries will work and produce goods to the maximum level. When you don't have energy crisis, every industry will work to its full extent, and there will be, of course, no shortage of all these things. There will be no unemployment when you have industries working 24/7. The number of unemployed people will definitely grow smaller, and there will be more job opportunities for people. The members of the future society will lead a happy and contented life. According to the writer, he is very much hopeful that the people or the man of future will enjoy its life. I am reading the next paragraph on page 172. Technologists and scientists depicts a bright picture of society of the future. Technologists and scientists, they predict, they prophesy that the future of the earth or the future of man on the earth is bright, more luxurious, prosperous. According to them, health facilities will be available to all the citizens without any fail. And a time will come in near future, that health facilities will be available to each and every individual. Fatal diseases will be eradicated and very few people will die of these diseases. And the scientists are hopeful that in future we will be able to eradicate all these fatal diseases, for example cancer, AIDS, HIV, etc. We can eradicate them from the face of the earth, and people will less people will die because of the diseases. We are just left with two short paragraphs. I'm going to finish this off and that will be end of the lesson. So bear with me for a while. I'm on page 172, the last paragraph. Latest and modern evolution in the field of various technologies and science, space technology, nuclear science and technology, engineering technology, literature and fine arts, etc. will be available to all students. The writer is extremely hopeful that all these things, different technologies, nuclear sciences, engineering, literature, art, everything, they are all will be available for the students. You know that a huge amount or a large portion of our kids are out of the schools, and then of course if we check our our middle school level education, more students are out of the schools, and then look at the matriculation level, and then higher education is extremely difficult in the sense that government is not capable of providing the opportunity for the students so that they can go for their higher studies. So they are giving us a hope that in future each and every student, each and every kid will have the opportunity to go for studies whatever they want to. Information and computer technology will make tremendous progress and will be available to all. Information and technology and computers, that will be available to each and every kid on the face of the earth. Due to the use of science and technology on a large scale, the citizens of the society of the future will lead a comfortable and luxurious life. Due to such advancement in science and technology, the people of future times will be more prosperous. They will lead a very happy life. Robots will work in fields and industries in place of workers and laborers. According to the writer, robots, they will work instead of human beings. They will do the labor. They will do the hard job for humans. I'm reading the last paragraph on page 173. A revolution will take place in the field of transportation. Of course, transportation is the field of transportation is already at its peak, but more and more discovery and more advancement in this field will make it further ahead of other fields also. There will be fast and speedy railway trains and cargoes. For example, currently on the face of the earth, for example, if we have the fastest train which can achieve the speed of 500 to 600 km per hour, maybe in future we will have trains which will travel at 1200 or 1400 or 1500 km per hour, which is extremely fast, and that can be achieved in future. Traveling from one place to another will take very short time. The distance will be squeezed more. Comparatively to the time that we are living in future, it will be more faster. Computers will be common. Even access to supercomputer will become quite easy. You know that these days supercomputers are rare and we don't have access to that. So of course the normal computer will be available to all. Even the supercomputers, they will be available for public and masses. There will be no problem of pollution as the use of solar energy will be common, which is more friendly and compared to coal and fuel energy, as compared to coal and fuel energy. Solar energy, which is safe, which is clean, this will be available to all, and we will have less pollution and less global warming due to the reliance of man on solar energy. The citizens of the society of the future will put an end to mutual grudges and tussle and will settle their dispute through peaceful negotiation. That is what the writer says, which is very unlikely, and we have just seen during the pandemic what has happened, and even right now what is happening, that the rich countries, they are getting the vaccines earlier, and there's a national war regarding vaccine distribution. That is what the writer says, that the future generation, they will solve all their disputes through dialogue. They will not fight, they will not go to war with each other. Minerals of all kind will be unearthed. There are numerous minerals. They are still under the earth, they are still under the sea. We can have so many things out of the earth, but we cannot due to the lack of facilities and the incapabilities of human beings. But in future we will be able to dig more and more minerals out of it. There will be peace and goodwill among the citizens of the society. They will live in a brotherly manner, the people of the future. That will be an ideal and peaceful era, but to bring that good times, the writer says that it will be the top of a human civilization. We can say that is the extreme level where a human can reach to its social behavior. That will be at its peak. But to reach to that level, what is important? It is the duty of the present generation To reach to that level, this is the duty of the present generation, to devote themselves to the study of science and technology. That the youth of today, they have to devote their life to science and technology to pave a way for a successful, peaceful and advanced society in years to come. And they have, that is the responsibility of the present youth, that they should devote themselves to the study of science and technology. And this is going to be the way, this is going to be the lead path towards the things that the writer has just mentioned. Which is a more of a utopian world, and that is what the writer believes. That is the end of the lesson. This was basically an article from a newspaper, and it has been modified by Professor Mohibullah. I hope you have enjoyed reading it. Inshallah, we will discuss its exercise in the next lecture. I will be discussing its exercise, the recalling section, of course, interpreting and extending, and then inshallah we will move on to our next lesson. Till now, thank you very much.